hurt before. I had an open door, and so I told myself I never let it happen again.
Hello, my name is Raquel, and this is Pages of Life. Today we're going to be talking about exploit or support. Now, are we exploiting our children or are we supporting our children? About, oh gosh, I want to say about 6 years ago. No, I don't think it was 6 years ago, maybe 5 years ago. My youngest daughter came to me and she had told me, she said, "Mom, I want to be a model." And I said, "Oh, really? Okay." At that time, Tyra Banks' show was like the biggest thing on TV. The modeling show was like the biggest thing on TV, and both of my daughters would watch it every week. And so I said, okay, that's, let's look at it, So I started watching it with them, watching the show with them. My oldest daughter, she wanted to sing. And when she was younger, I did not really think that that was her talent or her gift, but she proved me wrong. She kept working at it, and now she is an awesome singer. But we went through like this little, this little situation that had happened about 4 or 5 years ago. My youngest daughter also wanted to dance. And so I said, okay, you want to dance? So, and I asked her, I said, now, you see the kids on TV, because she also wanted to act. So she wanted to do the whole little thing. She wanted to be famous. Both of my kids, they wanted to be famous. They wanted to act, they wanted to dance, they wanted to sing, they wanted to do it all. So I said, now, you see the children on TV. Now, you just see the finished product, okay? But that comes with a high price, a lot of hard work, okay? And both of them said, oh yeah, we can do it, we want to do it. So my youngest daughter, I remember the very first fashion show that my youngest daughter, Trinity, did. Now, I had no clue about what she was going to do and how she was going to look. So I said, okay, it's a fashion show. She auditioned and she got in. The day of the fashion show, she was really nervous and she was quiet. She was in line, and all the other parents, they were there and they were saying how cute she was, but she was really quiet. Now, when her time came to walk that runway, I was floored. This little girl stepped out on that runway and she rocked it like Naomi Campbell, like Tyra Banks. I was like, oh my Lord, where did this girl get this walk from? And all the other parents, they were asking me, they was like, well, what modeling school did she go to? And I'm like, I didn't put her in no modeling school. It was just natural. So I was like, okay, this kid has something. She has something. Now, I'm kind of like my mother was. I wanted to be in the acting field too, but my mother really didn't want that for me. She said she knew how, strenuous it was and how hard it was, so she really didn't push that in me. She didn't really push that creative side in me because she didn't want that for me. Now, I felt like this. I told my children, I said, I want to support whatever it is that you want to do. However, there are some guidelines. I'm going to be right there. So in any case, we got an agent for my youngest daughter, and the agent told me, he said, okay, this is what you need to do. He said, there is this, the single ladies dance is going on. That's when Beyonce did her single ladies, and everyone was doing their rendition of single ladies, and they were putting it on the internet. And so the guy asked me, he said, well, can she dance? I said, yeah, she can dance. She's very talented. He said, okay, well, have her learn the single ladies dance and put it on YouTube and let her build up a following. And that way, when we go to submit her for different jobs, then they'll see, what, people already know who this little girl is. So I was like, okay, now I do not have one rhythm bone in my body. I am so uncoordinated, but we learned the dance together. I learned it, helped her with it, and it was a hard dance to learn. And there was sometimes when she would say, Mama, I cannot do this. I don't want to do it. And I was like, okay, and we retire for the night. And then she'd come back in the morning. She said, Mama, I got it. I got the step. I got the dance. I got that move or whatever. And so we would continue. So after about 2 weeks, I think it took us to learn the dance. We did the dance and we put it all together, did her costume and her makeup and everything, and we filmed her right in our living room. I mean, the girl she hit it. She was on cue, she was on target. I mean, really, she was very, very talented in her dance. And so we put it on the internet, we put it on YouTube, and the agent was pleased with it. He said, oh, this is good, this is going to go far. So about the next day, I got all these phone calls and I got all these emails and these texts from my different family members. And they were upset. They were like, what are you doing? Why do you have your daughter doing this provocative dance, this Beyonce single ladies dance, you know? And I didn't really respond at the time, you know, and a couple of days went by, you know, and I started to feel bad. I felt bad because I did not want her to feel the backlash of anything. So I took it down. And so the agent was really upset. He said, you know what? He said, and I told him why I took it down. And he said, let me tell you something. He said, this is a hard business to break into. It's very hard. Your daughter, from what I can see, your daughter is very talented. This is just a stepping stone in what she has to do or where she's going to go. You know, and if you let other people, you know, dictate to you, then your daughter's never going to make it in the industry, because this is a hard industry to break into. So I heard what he had to say, you know, and I was kind of upset at myself for listening to other people. So needless to say, I think about a week later, somebody emailed me a link to this little white girl doing this African dance. And we all know that African dances are very provocative dances. Now, this little white girl, I mean, she hit every move, every gyration. I mean, the little girl was working it out. Very, very talented. Now, as a mother, I'm looking at this and I'm seeing talent. That's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing talent, you know. But other people were looking at it and they were, you know, saying, well, you know, as far as my daughter is concerned, well, you know, look what Raquel or look what Monique is doing. She's exploiting her daughter, you know. But I looked at this little white girl and she had thousands and thousands of hits to her YouTube page. And now this little girl is a professional dancer, you know. And I want to talk about this. I want to get your opinions and your thoughts about, are we exploiting or are we supporting? And where do we draw the line when we're pushing our children in the entertainment industry or whatever it is? It could be any field, you know, that they feel that they want to get into, you know, as parents, even in the sports, you know, because sometimes we got crazy sports dads that is, you know, pushing kids. I know you guys seen that one where the man pushed the other little boy off his son. Now, this is wrestling. If you didn't want nobody on your son, why you got him in wrestling? But the man pushed the little boy off his little boy. I mean, sometimes as parents, we can go too far. So I want to hear your dialogue about it. You know, are we really exploiting our children, or are we really, you know, supporting them? And so, but as far as my daughter is concerned, you know, she said to me, she said, Mama, I really want to dance and I really want to model. And one of the things that really struck and stayed with me was when she was dancing, and sometimes she would miss practice. And she would cry when she missed practice. She would be so upset. There would be other kids, you know, having fun and playing. She didn't want to do that. She wanted to go to practice because she wanted to dance. And so that said to me that she was serious about what she wanted to do at a very early age. And so because, you know, being a mother and a parent and being a Christian and holding an office in church, I'm like, you know, a lot of times we are torn between, you know, well, what do we do? What do we support? What do we allow our children to do? But I also leave you with this thought, you know, as African Americans, our culture is so weird, it's so different, you know, because we were raised a certain way. We were raised in church, and so we think certain things, you know, because I asked my mother if she thought that I was exploiting Trinity, you know, and she said, no, I don't think that you were exploiting her, you know, but you have to just be careful, you know. But here's a thought. We, a lot of times as Christians and African Americans, and just as people in general, but I can only speak from what I am, which is an African American and a Christian, a lot of times we sit in judgment of other people. We sit in judgment of those people who have made it, those people who are trying to make it, or those parents who are working and pushing their children to excel at whatever it is, whether it's music, whether it's dance, whether it's sports, whatever. You know, and a lot of times we look at them and we'll say, oh, they think that they're better than us, or they think that they're this, you know, and then when they make it, oh, and then they got money, you know, really, then you want to borrow some money. Now, that may sound cold, but that really is the truth. That comes at a price. Success comes at a price. Whether you're young, whether you're old, it's hard work. None of that is easy. You know, so there is a fine line, and I want to hear your thoughts about it. You know, what is exploiting and what is supporting? That's really what I want you guys to dialogue and talk with me, okay? I look forward to reading and hearing your responses. I leave with you this. What are you allowing other people to write on your pages, and what are you writing on the pages of other people's lives? Be blessed. I love you.
Your tender kiss of mercy and grace. Yeah, now I see your face. Don't you